The dark is older than the light.
Hi guys, this is Dormouse03.
And I'm Iron Praetorian.
And in this video we are going to talk about Ashen, a game that is, I believe, an exclusive for Xbox.
I think it's also on PC.
Which has been in development for quite a while. This was announced a few years ago.
I remember seeing the announcement of it at E3 2015. Then we didn't see anything at 2016, and I was like, do you remember that Ashen game thing that I was talking about? And you're like, yeah, I didn't see anything. So it's awesome that it's kind of reappeared and is more fleshed out.
Right. And so we got a nice little gameplay trailer, which I have to say, I mean, it looks like Dark Souls.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking.
It looks like stylized Dark Souls with maybe some different things in terms of storytelling and world building and whatnot, but definitely Soulsy in terms of combat and boss design.
And maybe even like the feel to the world as well, because it's set in a world with no sun and the only light comes from volcanoes and there's ash everywhere and it's kind of nothing lasts. It's all decay effectively and loss, which seems like Dark Souls.
I don't know, and just even when they were talking about the dark and the light and the dark and the light, it just sounds like Dark Souls. And I like Dark Souls. So if it's good and it's fun, and it's kind of like Dark Souls, then I think I'm going to like it.
And it looks like there's multiplayer in it, co-op multiplayer, and also confrontational multiplayer too. So that's interesting. Whether it's like the Dark Souls model where you get invaded by people, or whether you can choose to be adversarial or cooperative with a friend, that would be cool. And it also looks like there's like in-game AIs that can act as your co-op partners instead of, other players.
Which is cool. So, I don't know that I have very much more to say about it. I don't know that I don't think it has a release date or anything yet. I know it's been in development for a while, so I'm assuming that it will come out maybe sometime early to mid next year.
We can hope. I like the art style as well. It's like a cel-shaded art style where people don't really have a face. It's just kind of like flat.
Yeah, I thought that was interesting too, that there's no facial features.
And they don't have hands or anything. They're very much I guess, undetailed, but not in a bad way. Like those little wooden mannequins you get.
Yeah, where the fingers are all together.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it looks like a game that was made about 15 years ago, except it's intentional.
And also, cell shading will hopefully make it age better. We did see a boss fight in it, though. Or at least what looked like a boss fight. And I was like, that looks like the giant from Dark Souls 3.
Good old Yorm. Yeah, I mean, the enemies, it definitely, and then just the combat and the sort of dodging and that kind of thing, it definitely looked Soulsy to me, so.
I just hope it has a good story. Because Dark Souls kind of has a story, but kind of doesn't have a story. It has lore, which doesn't necessarily mean it's a story.
Correct.
If this does well, you never know. It might be a nice little idea Xbox series to play.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I'm always looking for new things, and I think that indie series are just as viable in terms of being good and being something that I want to play and that I want to see more in a series. They're just as possible to be that as your AAA titles. So here's hoping that this one is going to be good.
Yep. We'll just have to look out and see if it gets an official release date in the not too distant future.
Yep. Because there's nothing worse than building hype about something and then it just being drug out for a long time.
Agreed. Because it seems like Final Fantasy does that, where they'll announce something and then it comes out 7 years later.
Yeah, and it's just like all enthusiasm kind of dribbles.
And people get a false impression of what is expected of the game. Because they're like, oh, it's had 7 years in development, that means it'll be like the best game ever made.
Right, or sometimes they have ideas about what it's going to be and even release some stuff early on, and then they completely reimagine what they're doing, or they have to streamline things and whatnot. So here's hoping that this is going to be what we saw in the trailer is going to be actually representative of what the game is going to ultimately be, and that it'll actually come out within the next year.
Definitely.
Let us know what you guys think about Ashen, and we will see you in the next one. Thanks for watching, guys.
Goodbye.